After you've created your event, you can log in using the Flow dashboard and look for the event card listed either under the current events or the scheduled events. So basically, then click Enter link, which will take you to your virtual webinar room. I'm going to introduce you to our smart storyboard. You'll be the director where you'll be the one to set up the content blocks for the event. So this is the storyboard. You can add blocks on the fly and arrange them accordingly to your needs. So click the storyboard button on the left side of the panel, and then the plus to add content blocks. We have several content blocks to choose from: slides, survey, video player, screen sharing, the Q&A, presenter bios, webcam, and content, and the web content block. So basically, we can record each storyboard and manage the pre-recordings. A feature we can use is what we call Autoflow. So if you want to do a pre-recorded session in a live webinar event, you can automate them with this feature, which can also be reused for current or future events. So I'm going to add slides. Again, I'm just going to select slides and click next. So with the slides content block, you can upload static slide contents to your presentation in the webinar. The files you can upload can be presentation files, PDFs, Word documents, Excel files, and picture files. So I've already here uploaded slides, but if you want to upload a new one, just click New Slides, select the file that you want to upload, and it will be listed here. So I'm going to click on Next, and I'm going to select myself, who's going to be the one presenting. And you have here some custom options. If you want to enable them, that's up to you. And click Add Storyboard. So if you wanted to automate this with Autoflow, you simply have to click this button on this area. This will allow you to record your sessions or this presentation with this feature. So attendees may also have the options to download the slides if it is enabled for them. So if you want your attendees to download the slides, you can check this option or tick this button, alright, and update. So it should display somewhere in the lower left area for them to download. The slides content block, you can advance the slides, and you can also go back, and you also have the option to use the thumbnail view. So if you want to skip to a different slide, simply select the thumbnail view. And we also have the laser pointer. So this is very helpful if you want to really point out or put emphasis on a certain word or an object inside your presentation. So that can be very helpful. And you can rewind, going back to the very first slide. And you have an option here to download the presentation as a PDF. So if you enable that option that I mentioned before, attendees and other people will be able to download this in their screen. So basically, you can upload a maximum of 250 slides or 50 megabytes and 6 megabytes for the images. So that's about it for the slides. Now next is what we call the survey content block. You can ask in-room questions and receive real-time results. So this data can be very beneficial after you review the reports from your event. You can create surveys, customize the questions and select the answer, type a single choice and multiple choice, or via star rating. So simply just click your storyboard, click add content block, and select survey. I already have your list of surveys that I've added before in the past. I have your age, select, click next, and select myself as the presenter, and add this to our storyboard. So if we click on survey, we play that, you can see that this is what we're seeing, and set that option. And once you're done, just click on that, and you can also even share the results to your audience, so they were able to see the surveys. That's basically it about the surveys. Now, if you want to use audio and video simultaneously, we've got our video player content block just for you. So simply click on the storyboard, add content block, and select video player. Then click next. So the supported video file types can be MP4, MOV, AVI, and MPG. Simply add or drag a video file and wait for it to finish uploading. So I'm just going to click new video. You can click and drag, but I have it here somewhere saved. And select a video, open, and wait for it to upload. And it's ready. So once it's ready, just click that video file, select that, click next, and add to storyboard. You can pause or rewind the video player, and you can even use the laser pointer. So basically, if you want to use, or you want to pause or do a presentation, you can use the highlighter or the laser pointer and point out where you want your cursor would be. So this is also very convenient. So again, you can rewind it back or simply play it normally. Alright, so it's that simple. So if you have questions about the video player, please feel free to get in touch with us. Now, screen sharing content block is utilized to show one of your desktop screens or a particular application window or tab of your attendees. So you need to add screen sharing block to your storyboard first. Let's do that. Click next. So make sure that you enable screen sharing on the lower left, and you can choose to have an option to screen share which specific screen, the entire screen, or a window, or a Chrome tab. So I'm just gonna screen share this one, and you also have an option to enable share system audio or not. So I'm just gonna leave it unchecked. So you already have screen sharing enabled. You see a preview and just click the play button for screen sharing. So this is how it looks like on your end, but on the attendees view, they should be able to see your screen. That's how it would look like. Remember that only one presenter at a time can share their screen. Once you've set up your screen sharing content block on Storyboard, simply click the play button, and if you're done screen sharing, make sure that you click stop sharing, and that should be it. And yeah, by the way, you can also use Autoflow to record or automate your screen sharing, right? Automate with Autoflow, and it should run the Autoflow process. One of the most awaited portions of every webinar is the Q&A time. This enables your attendees to ask questions in a dedicated tab, which the host can then manage by mark as answered, mark as favorite, or mark as visible to attendees. So before that, ensure that you have enabled this feature before creating the webinar event. So let's go back to our event settings. So basically just skip to the settings part and make sure you've toggled enable Q&A. I have the options ticked here, so let's just leave that at default. Make sure that's enabled and you make sure that the changes have been pushed or that's already saved. So something to keep in mind. So I'm going to add Q&A in our content block. Simply click add content block, and as you can see here you have Q&A, select, click next, select your presenter, then next. I'm going to add a storyboard. And as you can see, we already have here the Q&A. So by the way, you can also move the storyboards on the fly if you want it first or second, whichever you feel comfortable about it. So if you look at the chat tab as a host, you'll only see two chat tabs, presenter chat and attendee chat. However, let me insert here. This is how it looks like for the attendee. This is my test attendee. It only has one dedicated chat tab. This is for the attendees test. So if you go back, attendee chat, there as you can see. However, when I'm going to start the event and I am going to play the Q&A button, that should enable a third chat tab called questions. So I am going to test my attendee and I'm going to put out a question. Alright, so how would that look like in the host view? So we have your three categories. Under the questions tab, we have all, start, and opened. Alright, so as a host, I mentioned you can mark as answered, mark as favorite, and you can set it to visible to attendees or not. So and you can even remove that. So basically, I'm going to give each example mark as answered, mark as favorite, and I am going to disable this from being seen. So if you can just inform your presenters, just focus on the start tab. If you want to filter out questions for your presenter, you select which questions the presenters want to just answer. And if there are still open questions, you can look here. And if the question has already been answered, you can just make sure that's checked. Mark as answered. Alright, and basically this is just what the attendees, if you look at here, there's a blue edge for the question, meaning that it's already been answered. But if it's not answered, it looks like this. So that's typically it. Make sure that you're able to review that as well in your reports. So basically the questions will also be saved in your reports at the end of the event to review the questions that weren't answered. Then maybe you can announce that you'll be able to post them on your website or email the answers for your attendees directly.